I tested 20 of the most popular AI tools on the internet. 15 of them turned out to be overhyped wrappers or overly complicated distractions. This chart measures internet hype against actual utility. Most tools cluster in the high hype, low utility zone. When you strip away the marketing, 15 of them vanish. Only 5 actually move into the high utility quadrant. The dilemma most of us face is trying to force a generalized everything app to do specialized jobs. When you ask one tool to handle your research, design, and video editing all at once, you usually end up with mediocre results. The strategy that actually improves productivity is the scenario match, matching an AI tool specifically to your primary daily bottleneck. To find that match, it helps to look at your work through 2 primary tasks. First is information ingestion, the research and learning. Second is content output, the creating and designing. The 5 tools that stood out categorize neatly into these 2 paths. Maximum return on your time doesn't come from using every single AI tool available. It comes from building a low-friction stack of 2 tools tailored strictly to the tasks that take you the longest. The ingestion bottleneck is the time you lose opening dozens of search results and skimming through unverified links just to get a basic answer. If your goal is broad, rapid discovery, Perplexity is the solution. The required input is specific. Instead of typing fragmented keywords into a search bar, you need to formulate clear, direct questions. This chart shows how Perplexity converts your raw question into a single topic overview. It attaches cited, clickable source links, so you can see exactly where the information came from. The trade-off for this speed is manual verification. Perplexity reduces your initial search time, but it shifts the burden back to you to check those citations against potential AI hallucinations. If you cannot risk hallucinations in your workflow, you need a different approach. That is where NotebookLM comes in for deep, verified study. NotebookLM places a hard constraint on the input. You have to manually curate and upload your own source documents and study materials first. In return, it creates a closed data environment. The AI assistant only answers based on the specific material you provided, effectively eliminating outside hallucinations. The trade-off for this reliability is the upfront time investment required to gather and organize your own data before you can start. For information workers, the choice depends on the task. You prioritize immediate discovery with Perplexity or delayed, highly accurate synthesis with NotebookLM. The output bottleneck is the friction between having a creative idea and trying to execute it inside professional-grade software. Canvas AI features address this friction for graphic design and thumbnail generation. The required input is minimal. You provide a simple text idea or a basic layout concept to trigger the generation process. You can move from a blank digital canvas to a layered visual layout in a few seconds. The result is instantly generated, editable visual content that allows you to bypass the technical learning curve of traditional design platforms. The trade-off is precision. It makes design accessible for beginners, but lacks the granular, pixel-perfect control that professional designers require. If you are managing a high volume of video output, CapCut is currently the optimal solution. CapCut's input is straightforward. You drag raw video clips directly onto a timeline. The outcome is the automation of tedious tasks. It handles your captions, removes the background, and applies effects instantly. The trade-off here is structural. CapCut maximizes speed for short-form clips, but lacks the architecture needed for complex, multi-camera, feature-length projects. For creators on high-volume channels, finishing a video in minutes solves a bigger problem than having the technical features of a high-end studio. If you've used ChatGPT, you have likely run into the problem of generic or useless results. This chart explains why. When you ask a simple question like, "Give me YouTube ideas," your results stay right here in the low-effort, low-impact corner. High-value outputs demand highly detailed instructions. You have to include the specific context, the target audience, and the formatting constraints. As you increase your input skill, the tool moves into the high-effort, high-hint pageant. The outcome is superior brainstorming and planning that actually surpasses generic templates. Generalist AI operate on a prompt penalty. They penalize lazy instructions by outputting unusable results. Claude is a strong bonus alternative, particularly for analyzing longer documents. If you already use ChatGPT, it is worth comparing the two for your specific text workflows. A generalist AI is only as powerful as the specific parameters you are willing to write. It is a skill you have to develop, not just a software you open. Trying to master all 5 of these tools simultaneously is the exact productivity trap you need to avoid. This scorecard maps specific user personas to their ideal software stack based on their actual needs. For the student or information worker, your stack is built on ingestion. You pair Perplexity for broad discovery with Notebook LM for verified study. You can ignore the design tools because they don't solve your core problem. For the content creator or small business owner, you focus on the output stack. Pair CapCut for video volume with Canva for fast design, reserving ChatGPT strictly for ideation. These two handle the execution of your ideas. For the everyday optimizer, your stack defaults to ChatGPT or Claude, but this path requires a total commitment to mastering prompt engineering to get value. Identify the primary bottleneck in your daily routine, adopt the 2 specialized tools that solve it, and ignore the rest of the noise.